Hold the child, hold it torn. cycles behind bars.
After death became the creed, there's a kingdom in the rust, where the freedom turns to dust. Not a king, not a slave, just a crown inside a grave. In the wearing, in the vast, where the future and the past feel the burden, learn to reign, where the glory and the pain, hold the chains, hold them high, where the question and the why. This is the crown made of chains, when every throne became the stains. This is the crown made of chains, and every power bears the pains. In the ruling, in the veins, you're the freedom and after death forgot to leave. There's a wind inside the void, where the silence is employed. Not a story, not a pen, just the breath we can't condemn. In the gust inside the yaw, where the rise before the fall. Feel the universe exhale, where the anchor, where the sail. Holding nothing, hold it fast, where the future and the past. This is the exhale of everything, when every loss becomes the king. This is the exhale of everything, and every whisper learns to sing. In the release, in the ring, you're the reason for the spring. This is the exhale of everything, of the void we're conquering. In the release, in the ring, you're the reason for the spring. This is the exhale of everything, of the void we're conquering. If the exhale needs a grave, if the ending needs to save, let them know we gave it all, where the rise became the fall. This is the exhale of everything. Of the void we're conquering. After scars became the skin, after birth became the sin, there's a cage inside the sky, where the open learns to die. Not a chain and not a wall, just the weight behind the call. In in the choosing, in the vast, where the future and the past. Feel the freedom where the lead, where the hunger and the fear. Hold the exile, hold it near, where the courage and the fear. This is the exile from freedom, when every door became the kingdom. This is the exile from freedom, and every choice became the wisdom. In the leaving, in the fiefdom, you're the martyr and the victim. This is the exile from freedom, of the burden and the system. No more child and no more scars, where the prison and the stars. In the exile, in the cost, where the found and where the lost. When the fiction breaks the lock, when the myth becomes the clock. In the hallway of the yes, where the blessing and the mess. Every freedom that we take is the vow we have to break. In the rhyme, in the rhythm, you're the sentence and the freedom. Feel the freedom where the lead, where the harvest and the seed. Hold the exile, hold it near, where the question and the seer. This is the exile from freedom, when every door became the kingdom. This is the exile from freedom, and every choice became the wisdom. In the leaving, in the fiefdom, you're the martyr and the victim. This is the exile from freedom, of the burden and the system. If the freedom ends the chain, if the choice becomes the pain, let them know we chose the wrong. Where the exile is the home. This is the exile from freedom. Of the burden and the system. was made of scars. After sparks became the stars, there's a falling in the black, where the burning took it back. Not a meteor, not a sun, just the first light coming undone. In the falling in the vast, where the future and the past. Feel the constellation break, where the ending and the wake. Hold the falling, hold it near, where the question and the fear. This is the fall of the first light, when every man became the night. This is the fall of the first light, and every star refused the hide in the dropping, in the blight. You're the shadow and the bright. This is the fall of the first light, of the world that lost its right. No more map, no more charge, where the ending and the start. In the fall inside the core, where the endless and the war. When the fiction breaks the sky, when the myth begins to die, in the crashing of the lore, where the question and the war. Every star we let descend is the promise we can mend. In the falling in the light, you're the silence in the fight. Feel the constellation break, where the broken and the stake. Hold the falling, hold it near, where the whisper and the seer. This is the fall of the first light, when every man became the night. This is the fall of the first light, and every star refused the hide in the dropping, in the blight. You're the shadow and the bright. This is the fall of the first light, of the world that lost its right. If the fall should end the stars, if the light becomes the scars, let them know we chose the ground, where the burning is the sound. This is the fall of the first light, of the world that lost its right. After forest wore the roar, after echoes found the floor, there's a burning with no cause, where the flame ignores the laws. Not a wildfire, not a torch, just the judgment on the porch. In the kindling in the vast, where the future and the past This is the first footstep on paper, and every myth becomes the maker. In the imprint, in the taper, you're the fire and the wafer. This is the first footstep on paper, on the world we now unfavor. hold a name. If the planet bears no blame, let them know we built from soot, where the end became the root. Became the lung. After silence was outrun, there's a pressure on the tongue, where the universe is strung. Not a sound and not a name, just a tremor in the frame, in the waiting, in the tight, where the shadow of the light. Feel the nothing form a word, where the silence that is heard. Hold the tension, hold the spark, where the dawn before the dark. This is the first word after nothing, when every vacuum starts combusting. This is the first word after nothing, and every doubt becomes the trusting. In the spoken, in the crushing, you're the reason for the rushing. This is the first word after nothing of the cosmos. We are touching. No more inhale, no more wait. We're the lock upon the gate. In the throat, inside the forge, we're the lightning and the gorge. When the fiction loads its gun, when the myth becomes the one, in the pause before the sound, where the tremble of the ground. Every breath we pulled in fear is the thunder drawing near. In the forming, in the search, you're the edge of every edge. Feel the nothing form a word, where the echo yet unheard. Hold the tension, hold the spark, where the flame before the dark. This is the first word after nothing, when every vacuum starts combusting. This is the first word after nothing, and every doubt becomes the trusting. In the spoken, in the crushing, you're the reason for the rushing. This is the first word After exile chose the gate, after freedom learned its weight, There's a will inside the ash, where the fathers left the crash. Not a gift and not a curse, just a verse inside a hearse. In the holding, in the vast, where the future and the past feel the legacy turn cold, where the story and the soul hold the ashes, hold them tight, where the darkness and the light. This is the inheritance of ash, when every kingdom turns to trash. This is the inheritance of ash, and every crown became the lash. In the keeping, in the clash, you're the silence and the crash. This is the inheritance of ash, of the dead we cannot slash. No more exile, no more run, where the shadow and the sun, in the ash inside the core, where the endless and the war. When the fiction signs the deed, when the myth becomes the need, in the urn of every star, where the distance and the scar. Every world we try to build is the graveyard we have filled. In the giving, in the thrash, you're the silence and the ash. Feel the legacy turn cold, where the broken and the bold hold the ashes, hold them tight, where the ending and the fight. This is the inheritance of ash, when every kingdom turns to trash. This is the inheritance of ash, and every crown became the lash. In the keeping, in the clash, you're the silence and the crash. This is the inheritance of ash, of the dead we cannot slash. If the ash should end the air, if the dust becomes the prayer, let them know we chose the keep, where the burning runs too deep. This is the inheritance of ash. stars have died, after every ocean's dried, I will search the empty space for the echo of your face. Every signal fading out, every system filled with doubt. In the static, in the blue, I still tune my heart to you. Can you hear me through the void, where the noise and where the void? Hold it down, don't let it fade. You're the only song I'll play. This is the last frequency, broadcasting you and me. This is the last frequency, where our love will always be. In the silence, in the sound, you're the only signal found. This is the last frequency, and it's playing endlessly.
No more stations, no more lines, just your heartbeat in the signs, in the end of everything. You're the only broadcast left to sing.
Universe begins to close, but our rhythm still composes. Every planet turning black, but your voice is calling back. Antennas reach across the night for the ghost of our first light. In the after, in the dust, you're the only thing I trust. Can you hear me through the void, where the start and where destroyed? Hold the dial, don't let it fade. We're the last song ever made. This is the last frequency, broadcasting you and me. This is the last frequency, where our love will always be. In the silence, in the sound, you're the only signal found. This is the last frequency, and it's playing endlessly. If the cosmos goes to sleep, if the silence grows too deep, I will loop you in my mind till no frequency we find. This is the last frequency. This is the last, you and me. And it's After nameless left the seat, after ruler found defeat, there's a scripture in the sand where the void becomes command. Not a king and not a chain, just the statute in the stain, in the writing, in the valley. where the future and the past feel the order, wear a face, where the law and where the case. Hold the dust, hold it true, where the old and where the new. This is the law, written in dust, when every throne became the rust. This is the law, written in dust, and every freedom turned to lust. In the ruling, in the just, you're the venom, in the trust. This is the law, written in dust, of the order we can't adjust.
No more nameless, no more throne. We're the many and the alone. In the dust inside the core, we're the endless and the war.
When the fiction signs the ground, when the myth becomes the bound, in the grammar of the gray, where the night and where the day, every law we try to keep is the promise we can't reap. In the reading, in the lust, you're the silence and the dust. Feel the order, wear a face, where the crime and where the grace. Hold the dust, hold it true, where the me and where the you. This is the law, written in dust, when every throne became the rust. This is the law, written in dust, and every freedom turned to lust. In the ruling, in the just, you're the venom, in the trust. This is the law, written in dust, of the order we can't adjust.
If the dust should end the law, if the void becomes the flaw, let them know we chose the bind, where the order owns the mind.
This is the law. This is the law. Of the order we can't adjust. I look up past the city glow, where the silent meteors flow. Every constellation bends to the shape my heart defends. Midnight ink across the sky. In the dark I learn to fly. Every cluster, every flame starts to slowly spell your name. Can you read it in the light, where the secret of the night? Hold the moment, trace the spark. You're the map inside galaxies begin to turn.